Is it the right time to start selling the SP 500? Well, this video I'm going to talk about the selling opportunity of the SP 500, whereby we're looking to sell the SP 500, and we are going to cover the technical analysis, the macroeconomic analysis, the COT report, and also we're going to look at the market sentiment. So welcome to my channel. This is Macro Market FX. By starting, you all know what the SP 500 means. It's a collection of 500 companies which are listed on the stock exchange market, and these companies are used as the main gauge to show the economic activities. Whereby what I mean by the economic gauge or the economic guide, whereby whenever these companies are profitable or earning a lot of profits, this means that the US economy is very strong. But whenever these companies are declining, this means that also the US economy is the US economy is low. So how can you variate the what is the right time to buy and what is the right time to sell? So that you must look at the economy. The US the economy. The economy always shows what is ahead of the market. I also say this, and I'll continue saying this. You must also always look at the economic. The economic shows what is ahead and what is going to happen about the future market. So by starting this day, as I said before, that you are looking at selling opportunities, you are going to dive deep into the economic, to the macroeconomic approach. When I mean a macroeconomic approach, you are going to look at the economic indicators, whereby, for example, over the past year, the US economy was rising. The US economy was rising. Also, you see on the corporate on the SP 500, these corporate companies were rising. What does it mean? That this company are earning a lot of profits, whereby they also, when they're earning a lot of profit, means that there's a good payrolls, that the workers are paid very good. What when the workers are paid very good, this means that there's going to be a spending. Spending will rise up, consumer confidence will rise up, so this will lead to the a lot of profit to this company. That's why I say that the S&P 500 is likely is the main gauge of the US economy. So currently what you're seeing, so whenever the S&P 500 was dropping down, this means that the US economy was in a bad situation. Whenever the S&P 500 is rising up, this means that the US economy is it's a very good situation. For example, let's look at the crash of the 2000 crash. The 2000 crash here. You see, the SP 500 came down over 1, 2, 3, over almost 5 months. This means that also the US economy was declining on the depression of 2001. Let's look at the Great Depression which happened in 2008. You see, the SP 500 was declining. This means that the US economy was bad. We all know what happened in 2008. Look at the 2008 until currently now what was happening. The US economy was up, was good. This means also the companies which these companies also will have a good run in their capitals. Their capital will grow, their income will grow, their profits will grow. That's what you see. This is a big upside. What happened here in the 2022, whereby the central bank start increasing interest rates. We also know that the interest rates has the economy, whereby it will reduce a lot of consumer confidence. The US economy is sluggish. What does it mean? That the SP 500 dropped. Also, what happened here? That also the company profit dropped. You see how I said that they align. The US economy and SP 500, they're things that align. You see what happened here in the COVID era. You see what happened in the COVID era. This big low until here, you know what happened. So they say this thing correlate together. So let's take a look at the let's take a look at the US leading economic indicator. This US leading economic indicators will direct us to know what is going to happen in the market, guys. The conference board leading economic index for the US inched down in May. So let's read what are the views of the US leading economic indicator. The L the LEI for the US fell again in May, but not marginally, said Justina, senior manager business cycle indicators at the conference board. The recovery of the stock prices after the May drop was the main positive contributor to the index. However, consumer pessimism and persistently weak new orders in the manufacturing, a second consecutive month of rising initial claims for the unemployment insurance, and the decline in housing permit weighed on the index, heading to a May overall decline, with a substantial negative revised drop in April and a further downtick in May. The 6-month growth rate of the index has become more negative, triggering a signal recession, guys. Look at the signal recession. The conference board does not anticipate a recession, but we do expect a significant slowdown in the economy in 2025 compared to 2024, with the real GDP growing at 1.6% this year and the president's tariff effects potentially leading to a further declaration in 2026. Okay, as you can see here, let's take a look at the chart. So guys, as I said earlier, the US economy is likely going to be affected. So what does it mean to the SP 500? Also, this company will be affected. So let's take a look at this chart. The LE negative 6-month growth rate contraction in the diffusion index over the past 6 months triggered a signal recession in May. See this chart? So this is the red line signals the signal recession, a black line signals the warning signal, the red line signals the signal recession. So where currently where we are here. So it has break this red line here, which this signals a recession. You see what happened whenever it breaks this red line here. See the 2001 depression, the big 2008 depression, economic depression, the to COVID 2020. So what are we heading here? You see, so what will it mean to the SP 500? So this will mean also the SP 500 there's a big potential of downside to the SP 500 coming. So I say they have said the main cause of the SP 500 growth is being sluggish of the economic growth, guys. A big sluggish of the economic growth, whereby they say there's potentially consumer pessimism, means that the consumer confidence is declining, means that the consumer they're not purchasing more because due to the economic current situation, which will lead to weak orders in manufacturing, which means the consumers will not be purchasing more, so this will lead to the manufacturing orders to decline. You see, and it's consecutive second month of rising initial claims for the unemployment insurance. What does it mean? These are claims whereby the people who are not unemployed they issue insurance to the government to be paid. So whenever these initial claims are rising, mean that the US economy or the economy is it's not good. It's not good. So this directly will affect the consumer, will affect the consumer spending. This means that will also affect the manufacturing orders because they will decline. What will happen to SP 500? The SP 500 will decline due that this company will not be any profit and a decline in housing permit. You see, this also shows that the US economy is not in a good position. So that's why I say the macroeconomic analysis shows what is ahead of the market. So let's take a look at the USA. As you know, last week there was a first GDP news of the USA quarter of 2025, whereby it was at negative 0.5, guys, from 2.4. You see, from 2.4 currently now the gross domestic product of US is at negative 0.5. This shows a huge decline of the economy. So what will it mean? It means also this will affect the companies that drive the US economy growth, whereby there will be a decline in the if there's a decline in the economy, also there will be a decline in the market, in the stock market, in the SP 500, and Nasdaq, in all markets. There you can see its unemployment is at 2.44, so it's at 4.2, whereby according to data, the the lab the statistics labor which measure unemployment expect unemployment to grow up to 4.5 to this year end. So you see there's going to be a lot of unemployment. When it means there's going to be a lot of unemployment, the initial claims of unemployment insurance will rise. What will it mean? That it will mean that the consumer confidence will continue falling, which means that there will be a weak order in the manufacturing goods, whereby people not consume more, people reduce their consumption. See, the real saving will decline. You see, the interest rate, the current interest rate is at 4.5, whereby it's still hurting the US economy. But you all know why the Federal Reserve are still on this 4.5 due to that they are watching their unemployment, whereby they're looking for an easy unemployment. But there's never going to be an easy unemployment. And also the tariffs issue. The tariffs issue, guys. Let me talk more about the tariff issue. The US also know the US is the main import of goods, whereby when they raise tariffs on other countries, when this good are, when this good arrive in the US, whereby this tariff paying will be passed by to the customers. Mean the customers must pay this tariff price. What does it mean to the economy? Assuming there will be a big loss in these companies. You see, there will be a big loss in this company, things like this. So that's why we're keeping a scenario that the US economy is going to go down. As you can see, let's take a look at the let's take a look at the COT data. The COT data. Let's look at how the large speculators are placing themselves in the market. These large speculators, I mean, like the big banks, the big hedge fund guys, and all these people. These people are the one who they've got a large market in them. They've got a large capital. So they are you can never bet against these people. Yeah, it happens in one in lifetime you bet against the large speculators. But according to data, guys, you have seen what it has said on the US leading economic indicator that it has signaled a recession. What will it mean to the market? Will it mean that the corporate earning, the big companies' profit will go down? You see the GDP of US first quarter GDP, it was tainted, it came at negative 0.5%. So let's take a look at the SP500. You see the light speculators are below the zero and they are selling the SP500. Their contracts right now, their contracts is at negative 1.47k. You see their contracts there. They have reduced the low, but they're still below the zero, guys. This is a big opportunity showing that there's a big momentum ahead of the SP500. The big momentum coming on the SP500. That's why we're coming look again at our technical analysis. So let's dive deep in the technical analysis. Currently, the price is at 600 and 6,173 the price, but this area is a the deviation area whereby it has got a 96% of coming down due to it is an institution area whereby it is a 96% of coming down. You see price has reached at an area where it has a 96% of coming down. You look at its economic we have looked at its economic it's economic is it's signaling a recession. What does it mean when it's signaling a recession? It means that the corporate will the SP500 will come down, will affect its corporate, the companies will profit will decline, there will be massive layoff, which will lead to the unemployment to rise from 4.2 to 4.5. The GDP is a negative 0.5. And expect guys, when the second quarter GDP is still in a negative, that means we'll be in a recession, technical recession. As you can see, this red line here, which is the price of 4,902. When price come and break this area, when price come and break this area, when price come and break this area, this is official. The US is at at, at a recession. You see, when the April when Trump was raising interest rates, you see, was raising tariffs. Sorry, the price came around this area. Oh, it signaled a recession, but it came up when he said he's going to relieve tariffs, but he gave the 90 days duration, which the 90 days are ending on July of 9th. Well, what will it mean? And this week he has announced that he has cancelled all tariff talks with Canada. So there's more to come on the economy. So we are looking for sell opportunities. Why do I say looking for sell opportunity? First of all, the large speculators they are selling this, they are selling hard the SP500. Second of all, like the most powerful is the macroeconomic analysis, whereby we have seen in the conference board whereby they say there is a weak coming, with the weak growth of the US economy coming ahead and it has signaled recession. We have looked at the chart. Okay, in the last we have looked at the economic indicators such as GDP, which is currently on negative 0.5. We look at the employment, which has 4.2, which there is which they're expecting to go to 4.5 when the year ends. We look at the interest rates at 4.5. We look at the tariffs which affect the US due to the US are the big importer of goods, the cut which will make the consumer to reduce their spending. Whether the consumers reduce their spend, this will affect the company profit. So let's look at the technical analysis. This is the weekly analysis where the price carried now is it's at the it's at the it's at the strong deviation level where this is a 96% chance that price will go down. Let's look at the daily. Let's look at the daily time frame. But this is the daily time frame. This is the daily time frame as you can see here. This is the daily time frame. This is the daily time frame. What are we looking at this daily time frame? Yes, we're looking for short position whereby the seller right now price this price is trading at the 6,173 whereby we'll be looking for retracement whereby we'll be looking for retracement we're looking for retracement around, we have to wait for price to come down around this area here, where it's going to be 500, 5,816, whereby when price comes at this here, we're going to look for a retest, then we're going to sell it all the way down. But keep in mind, whenever price break this area here, I want you to know down this area, 400, 4,905. This will signal official bearish, let me say official recession of the US economy. You see, it came here on the April when when the president was announcing his tariffs issue, but it relief. But so this this signals a big a big a big decline of the US economy coming. So this, I said, this is a big opportunity to sell the SP 500 for those who have no worries. They can start selling the SP 500 here at around this price here, because this is a very strong price, guys. This is a very strong area. This is a very strong area here. It's a very strong area. When I mean a very strong area, this is the key deviation level whereby it has a 96% chance of decline. So that's why I said there's a big opportunity of sell in the SP 500. So the macroeconomic has showed everything, the economic indicators have showed everything, the COT has showed everything, the conference board has shown everything. You can look at the conference board and see and read it by yourself. You can go and look at the consumer confidence, the initial jobless claims. Like the initial jobless claims plays a big part. This when I mean about the initial jobless claims, I mean that the unemployed people who file for claims, for insurance claims to the government, whereby whenever this number continue climbing, going up, new numbers continue climbing, this means that there's a lot of unemployment. What will it mean? That the economy is declining. That's why you see its best GDP came out of negative 0.5%. So guys, this is the opportunity to sell the space SP500. As I said earlier, for those traders who can sell it right at the price of the original price, who can wait for retracement around the 5,816, all the way all the way down, all the way down. So as I say, the SP 500 moves with the economy. Whenever there's a good economy, the SP 500 also goes up. Due to this company is making a lot of profit, you see. This company makes it from the COVID era. So when the COVID, the SP 500 came down, means that the company, there's a lot of staying home. So this means the company won't be getting profit. So when the COVID issue end, see the company start going up. You see, then it came the 2022 whereby the US was raising interest rate. Whenever the economy raises interest rates, this means will affect the companies. Whereby it came down, remember, then it started going up. So this thing happened. So it had to happen. So take a look at this video, go and look the COT, go and look the economic indicators, take a look at the conference board, and you'll see my scenario on the US economy. And once again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and watch my other videos for more educational videos coming. And don't forget to share this video to other communities so as we might grow this macro market FS communities. Thank you and have a great week.